All right. Well, how's everybody doing back from the holiday? Everybody have a good Thanksgiving holiday?
It's good.
Yeah. Everybody eat themselves to oblivion?
Nope.
Not us health coaches, right? All right. I love it.
Well, we had gingerbread spice and good recipes to work with. So.
Good.
Save.
Yeah, Sherry, you're the queen of that. I absolutely love that. Welcome to tonight's Zoom call. This is December 3rd. We're towards the end of the year. And tonight, I really want to focus on systems, because one of the things that I've learned in my career in business, when I was helping my wife set up her practice, as well as other businesses that I've done, and including this business, that when we have a system, all we have to do is execute our system over and over again, right? And we don't have to figure out what do we do. And there's so many different systems out there at Take Shape for Life, but nothing that we just say, here it is, do it this way. Everybody's made up their own. And sometimes that's confused a lot of people. And some people are thriving with the systems that they've created, right? There's teams out there that have systems, and they are working it, they are teaching it, and their teams are thriving because people are just plugged into a system. Now, with that said, there's one common denominator that cannot go away. That if you want to grow your business, you have to talk to people. A lot of people. This is a people business. If you're not talking to lots of people all the time, you cannot expect to grow your business. I know, Malka, if you don't mind me sharing, we talked the other day about you wanting to, grow your business and bring on more health coaches and grow it that way. And what the question I asked you was how many presentations did you do in the last month for the business opportunity? And do you mind revealing what your answer was?
I'm sorry,
you were speaking for me, Gary. I was muted.
That's okay.
I embarrassingly couldn't tell you how many people I had spoken to this month. Not week, month.
Right, and that's okay that you couldn't, but what you look at is, I'm trying to grow my business, yet I wasn't presenting the opportunity. I presented it maybe once a month. So the reality is that this is a people business, and to grow our businesses, we have to present to lots of people, right? And let the numbers fall where they fall. Now, that's a foundation that you just can't get away from, right? Period. So, however, from that foundation, it's what do I do with people once they either say yes or maybe, right? That becomes, now it's taking somebody, you've made the connection, and now you have to bring them in, and you have to figure out, how are you going to nurture this relationship? How are you going to foster a relationship with them, to get them to maybe see what we're up to get them to say yes, they want to get healthy, and they choose you as a coach? Because remember, they're choosing you as well. So first and foremost, it's about making sure that we talk to lots of people. Everybody agree with that and understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So with that, there's only 4 things that need to be done in this business. That's it. 4 things. Now, there's a lot of stuff in each one of these 4 things, but there's only 4. Who knows what they are? Malka, do you know what they are? It's the 4 things that help us grow our business. What are they?
4 things that help us grow our business. Speaking to people, which you already said. Being excited. Are you asking for action steps?
Okay, I'll do it. I'll say what they are. Just all those things are correct, but the 4 pillars are acquire clients,
No.
right?
Support clients.
Support clients,
Wire coaches.
acquire coaches, and support coaches, right? Those are the 4 ways that we get paid in Take Shape for Life and what grows our business, right? Everybody understand that? Okay. Now, the question becomes is, what systems do we put them in once we do it? Or A, how do we acquire clients? What do we do to get clients? And then once we get a client, how do we support them? How do we acquire coaches? Once we get a coach, how do we support them? So, with that said, the first thing in acquiring clients, we've gone over this 100 times, but if you decide that you wanted to grow your business, what I highly recommend is that everybody listening and everybody who's going to listen to the recording who just really wants to grow the business, learn this system. Now, I am going to show you I'm going to do a screen share here so you guys can start to see some of these things. And let's just show you my desktop here. Okay, can you guys all see my desktop?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Can you guys all see this clearly or no?
Yeah.
Anybody can't? You all good? Okay. So the first thing is acquiring clients, right? Well, actually, let's go. I'm going to show something different. Well, the system for acquiring clients is, remember, what are you excited about, right? So you got to get really good at sharing your story. If you're not good at sharing your story, or you feel you want it to be refined, then let me know or let your business coach know, and let's make sure you're really good at it, because it's the most important thing you have is your story. By far, this is a business where we're not selling an iPhone that Apple's been advertising left and right. Who was that? Maybe it's my phone. We're not selling an iPhone that Apple's advertised and all we have to do is be there and sell it. We are not selling anything. We are offering a lifestyle for people. And we have walked in those shoes ourselves, right? That's so powerful, is the fact that we've walked through the shoes ourselves. So beware of trying not to sell, bug, offend, and we have all these things that I'm going to make sure that you have everything you need. You've just got to study it and practice it and use it till it becomes part of your routine. Now, who are you going to tell? People, right? We just talked about this is a people business. People are your treasure. And always remember that you're not trying to get a client. You're trying to make connections with people. And your job is to share with them in the highest possible light for them to make the decision that this is right for them. Okay. Now, what will you, well, let's look at one more document here. I want everyone, and all these documents that I'm going to show you, a lot of them, at least this one coming up, came from the document library. I don't know what that is. Can you guys see this one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's called Locating and Connecting with Clients. And where do you find them? A daily schedule, opportunities, you find them anywhere. The school bus stop, dry cleaner, bank, post office, children's sports activities, PTA meetings, the pharmacy. Anywhere you go gives you an opportunity to get into a conversation, right? You find your way into a conversation to share what you do, to share your story. That helps you build connections. Shopping opportunities, health food stores, vitamin stores, waiting room opportunities, doctor's offices, business opportunities, gyms, spas, salons, social networking, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn. These are all places. Now this document I'll send to you, but you also have it in your document library. Now that you found them, what do you say to them? We've kind of talked about a little bit about that. I'm not going to go over what to say to them. But these are the things that you do to get people to interested in wanting to learn more, okay? So What will you say? Now, this is when you're out and about. Now, as far as a campaign goes, whether you're new or old, does not matter. The key is to get the word out, right? Can you guys see this? I don't know what this green mark is. That's really weird. I don't even know where it came from. So anyway, so this is getting the word out script. Now, we've all seen the video of Jamil getting the word out, right? If you haven't seen it, review it. It's a very simple process, and it should not be scary to call people, tell them what you're doing, tell them a little bit about your story, and ask them if you can send them some information. The scripture tells you exactly how to do it, right? So what you're learning here is a system of exactly what you need to do. Now, if you're out and about and you meet somebody, you can even use this same script. They used to use this everywhere you go. It used to be called collecting yeses. Meeting somebody, sharing with them what you're excited about, and seeing if you could get them so you can send them information. That is the whole idea, that you want a commitment from them that it's okay for you to send them information. And that if they know anybody, they pass it on, okay? Is everybody clear on the getting the word out? Anybody have any questions in regards to this? Does it seem easy to do? Raise your hand if it does not. Raise your hand if you're like, I'm not comfortable with this. And be honest, it's okay. Anybody? No? So everybody feels pretty simple, right? Pretty simple and basic. Okay. All right, so we're focusing right now on acquiring clients, the system of acquiring clients, right? So what we've discovered is you got to talk to people. You can meet them anywhere. You just got to find your way into conversations. And if you're not doing that, you can also use your contacts on your phone and call people just to share with them what you're doing. Okay, now that you've shared with them what you're doing, now you have to follow up with them, right? Now it's about what do I send them. So I'm going to show you the, I think I have it right here. Okay, can you guys see this at all, or is it moved over to the side?
It's moved a little over to the side for me.
Is that better?
That's better. That's perfect.
Okay. Besides the green slash in the middle of this page, this is a document that Kim Fisk made, and basically it's the, now that you've got the word out, this is the follow-up email. Thank you very much for helping me spread the word about what I'm doing. Your story here. Our program is based on learning daily habits that help shape our health. Every person has a free personal health coach. We also have healthy eating plans. This is how she wrote it. You can write it any way you want, including a kickstart weight loss plan, safe, medically based option. If you know anyone who needs help, please pass along the information. I would love to connect with you on Facebook, and then information and a couple before and afters. Very, very simple. So what I recommend is you create your own, okay? Create your own with this template, and I'll send all these out to you. Now, I took the honor of, that's the Word document. This is, I'll send this to you too, as long as Shelly gives me the approval to. I edited hers a little bit, but this was her follow-up email. A little bit differently organized, a little bit more wordy. I kind of like it short and sweet, because that's what we found, that short and sweet is actually more important than anything profound and lengthy. Unless it's a book, it's a whole different ballgame, but people don't like long emails. So this is a way to, you want to have a system that says, okay, I met somebody, they're on my connections, they said yes, I could send them information, this is what I'm sending them. And you send them to your I Choose Optimal Health page, not your TSFL page, okay? Because we want them to have to ask more questions. And you also want to find out from them, is it okay if I follow up with you in a couple days to see if you got the information? And then you follow up to see if they got the information, okay? So what we have is the...
That's fine. You can send that out, Gary. I'm fine with that.
Say that again?
You can send that out.
Send what out?
That you asked if Shelly's okay with sending that file out. That's fine.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Shelly. Thank you. Great. So, and Shelly, I edited it today, by the way, and I'll send it back to you so you can kind of play with it. So we're getting the word out, and then now we're following up. That's what this concept of layering, the layering process is all about, right? So layering is just touching them here and there. And okay, so now we've set up our follow-up email. Now let's say someone says, will you send me some information about the program, right? How many of you heard that question before? Raise your hand. And how many of you know exactly what to send them? Raise your hand. Okay, Malka does. But most people don't, right? So, and I worked with Shelly on this because she was so motivated to do this, and we made it really clean. We wrote a send me information document, which you'll get. Now, you can adjust this any way you want if you're not comfortable. But basically, these are possible opens. It was great to connect with you. Thank you for your kind words about my transformation, or thank you for your interest in Take Shape for Life. This healthy living program made a difference in my life. I never knew getting healthy could be so simple. That's why I became a coach, so I could pay forward the gift I've been given. There are many great aspects of this program. Here's a list of what you can expect to experience. And we just put the bullet points, right? Lose 2 to 5 pounds, free Take Shape for Life health coach. And you always want to put me, especially if it's your connection. A simple structured eating plan, eat every 2 to 3 hours, burn fat, no cravings, no hunger, increase energy, how to keep your weight off, Dr. Anderson's Optimal Health Program. So those are what people, when say send me something on your program, send them just the bullets. And then the other question people have is cost, right? How many people get the cost question all the time? And it's sometimes hard to overcome that objection, even because A, you either don't know how to do it, or B, even if you do know how to do it, they still have the objection, right? So you got to be flexible with it. Now, so what we wrote is about the cost, because we're pretty proud of our cost, and we went over this last time. However, I didn't have a chance to record it. So it's written here. The other question you have was cost. This is my favorite question. As a client myself, I can say that achieving health is priceless. That being said, I think the real answer will stun you. What's really cool, and I put this in bold, is for the majority of people, the program is free. Now, Shelly didn't like the word free for her. She's using the word cost neutral, okay? I'm okay with the word free because people are already spending money on food. So it's not an additional expense for many people. Here's how it breaks down. 50% of the people, the program is free or cost neutral. 40% save money. And if you save money, I would let them know that. 10% spend an additional $500 to $100 a month on their current food budgets. So as you can see, it's not an added expense. This is food for food. Many people save money. In fact, I personally save money. So at the end, does this clarify your questions? How does this sound? I wrote here, what do you think? But you don't really want to ask that question. I'm just going to erase that right now. You really want to ask, what do you like about what you heard? That's the better question. Let them talk about what they liked, not what they think. It's more important. And then you're asking here, I would love to have a conversation with you. It would only take about 5 minutes to tell you exactly how much this would cost. Now, the reason we say 5 minutes is twofold. A, to really tell somebody how much this program would cost really only does take 5 minutes. Would you agree? Now, if they want to know more, obviously it's going to be longer. But have you ever been in a conversation where somebody said, I only have a minute, but all of a sudden you start talking about something that they want to talk about, and all of a sudden they found 20 minutes, right? So you just want to be mindful that you're going into this with 5 minutes when you get them on the phone. But if they want to talk more, you want to be open to that reality, okay? Because they might want to ask more questions. Okay, so I want to open this, at this point up, I want to open, if you guys could unmute yourselves real quick, I'd like to open it up for questions about these last two documents, the email that you would send out and this follow-up email of send me some more information. And the last thing I want to add before we do that is you want to add a video to this thing, and you want to add like the Discover Take Shape for Life video. Nothing too fancy, just something about optimal health. You want to get them asking questions. Okay. Malka?
Just an, I think, really important point, and I don't know if everybody's done this, but I have a couple of companies that are interested in hearing corporate wellness, and I sent them my I Choose Optimal Health email, and there was nothing about me in that email. And I spent time this week making sure that just like I have customized and personalized my landing page, that I've customized and personalized my I Choose Optimal Health page. Because when you're saying me and you're including that link, it's really important to see that you're a I think, this is my opinion, for them to see we're a professional. It has our picture, it has a before and after story, and maybe a couple of other pictures on the web page. But it really takes us to the next level if we're layering and looking like a professional. And it's super easy to do. And anyone who needs help, that's why Health Coach Services is there for us. They're amazing. They showed me how to do it the first time.
I'll be right back.
So Shelley, when you send this out as a tell me about the program, if they have not asked about the cost, you're just doing the bullet points with a video and the landing page. You're not including the rest of it, correct?
Yes. I did have one person who was super avoidant, but really wanted me to send information, and they specifically said, just tell me how much it costs. So I did give them, just said, this is what it costs, and sent back the information and said, their first month it costs $254. That you get a week free in that. Otherwise, it costs a little over $300 because you get, I explained it in better terms than that, but and that person wrote back, and that's not that bad. And so it was like, okay, they appreciated me not trying to avoid the topic. It's interesting, Michaela and I did a vendor fair over the weekend, and that's what everybody wanted to know. And if we just came right out and said what it is, and said this is food for food, you have to look at your budget, and told them what it was and didn't beat around the bush, they were a lot better with that than us trying to hide it. I mean, there's a lot of other programs out there too that cost more than $300 a month. And so people aren't shocked by that number. They either think they know their budget and they think it's reasonable, or they totally don't know their budget and they think it's ridiculous. And, it doesn't really seem to be a whole lot of people in the middle.
I find people think that it's a lot, but if you tell them that that's all your meals, for the day, that's including your coffee, or, it's, maybe you can give up a Starbucks here and there, or, getting your nails done. Isn't that worth, what I mean? Because I've had a woman who was single mom, lived at home, and was complaining about the money, yet she had all these other, she had the latest phones and this and that. And, she should obviously making choices, spending your money in certain places. So definitely.
I had someone that stopped sending money to charities, and that's how we paid for it.
Well, if it's just temporary, it's still good.
Yeah. It works for him.
I always say that, when we're losing weight, we're losing weight. We're getting more energy that we can give more of ourselves of service to others, because we have I'm awake more hours in the day. I have way more energy. I used to go to sleep early, so I have way more energy that I could devote myself to whatever, cause it is, whatever, service to God or service to your fellow man, whatever you choose. But you do have that more energy that you can give over to other people. So they look at it like that, it's a different way, different perspective.
Yeah, and I am a firm believer in never telling somebody this thing costs $300 a month, because it's all psychology. But someone hears $300 a month, and the first thing they're going to think of is that it's an added expense on top of what they're doing now. Right? And we've already went over this last month on how many people here saved money when they did the program. I saved $300 a month. Can I really say this program cost me $300 a month? It's like, I know what the food costs, I get that, but saying that it costs $8 to $10 a day is always better than $300 a month. And this program is different for every single person. So you really have to ask them what they're spending on food right now to give them the really true answer for that. Do you guys agree with that, or do you disagree? It's okay if you disagree.
No.
Everybody agrees? Okay, awesome. So do you guys like this document to set, and making something whatever the way you want to make it, but having it send somebody if they ask these questions,
Right.
if they won't engage you,
Mhm.
If you could send all the documents, that'd be great.
I'll send them all.
Yeah, oh, please, yeah.
You guys will get
Gary,
it. I promise you that. Promise you
Gary,
that.
do you have a website or a spot that you could just have all these documents posted, like maybe your own little Facebook page or group that we could just, let's say we have it and we could just refer to it. Obviously, we might save it online, but let's say we have a new coach, so we could just have easily access to it.
You know what I'll do is I refuse to do my own Facebook group because I'm already connected to 20 other Facebook groups.
But just for this information.
Well, what I'll do is I'll set up a My Team Dropbox. You guys want that?
Yeah.
Just go in and access these documents, and I'll share it with everybody so you all have access to it.
Yes.
I don't know what a Dropbox is.
I'll teach you, Donna. It's just
Okay.
that you guys.
Thanks.
Because then it's like easy to like have that whole delineation, like this is what you do for this, and then it's just easier to replicate it and then show it on to the next coach, what have you.
That makes sense. Okay, so let's move on. You guys good with these so far? What we got going on? Everybody feel good about this system that
Yeah, you're going to include the video link.
Yeah, we'll include the video. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Now we are at sending them some information. Now, so we've talked to them. We got their yes. We sent them the first email. We followed up with them. They want more information. We send them something like this in the video link. And the goal is to get them on the phone so we could do a client interview with them, right? That's where we are right here. Following up, right? Following up until we can get to a place where we're at client interview. Pre-client folder, right? Everybody good with there? Okay. Now let's say you do the interview with them. We're going to talk about the file folders in a minute. And now let's say that they're avoiding you, right? And they won't call you back or whatever. They're not ready, whatever it is. Well, there's the new script, and I can't tell you how awesome this script is. I've now used it 3 times, and it's so genius. It's almost like you wish that you can use it early. It's called the off-the-hook script, okay? Now, the off-the-hook script, the idea of the off-the-hook script is that you don't want to bug anybody, right? And you don't want to keep calling and bugging them. So you do what's called the off-the-hook script. Now, you could say it any way you want. This is how it's said here, is, hey, I haven't heard back from you, and I never want to feel like I'm bugging you. I want to make sure that you know that, you're my friend first and foremost, obviously, if they're your friend. And I never want you to feel awkward or run the other way when you see me coming. And you want to say this in a very light-hearted tone. I could put you on my newsletter if you want to hear more, but I'm not going to bring it up anymore. I'm not going to try to share this program with you anymore. Whenever you're ready, you let me know. Have a great day. That's obviously if you leave a message. So, has anybody ever used this script before? Besides me.
I can't see it.
You can't see it?
Not up close. Let me move you over there. Your face was in the way.
If you could move it to the left of the screen, because our pictures are covering a lot of the stuff. Little further to the left.
I'll send it to you. You don't need to read
Okay.
it anyway. So
All right.
I'm showing it to you. Has anybody ever used this before? Malka, are you there still, or are you gone? Shelly, you're gone too.
I'm here. I just had to cook, so I had to turn my video off.
Oh.
But I have not exactly per script. It was more just someone that I keep following up with. And she stopped by my booth at the vendor fair and telling her more about it. And she just had this hesitant look, and I said, I know we've talked a lot about this, and she's still interested, but I can tell that and some levels bugging her too. So I said, you let me know, if you change your mind about program, because I don't want to be an irritation to her. And I did have one other person that I felt like I was bugging a lot. And then when I did say, I don't want to be bugging you, it's mostly just how I stopped when I saw her. And I'm like, just let me know if you're really not interested, so that I quit bringing it up. And she was totally like still interested. So it was a good conversation to have, because then I understood where her interest was.
Exactly. And that's actually a great reason to do it, is you let them know in a very soft way that, hey, you don't want to bug them. You're here just to help. And they said they were interested, so you're following up as a professional. And you don't want to bug them. And your friend, first and foremost, is most important. And then they let you know where they really are, right?
Mhm.
Perfect. Okay. So now we have do you guys feel comfortable that you have a little bit of a system for trying to get clients, what to do with them as you go through, and then even to the off the hook? Does that feel good? Comfortable?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, that's acquiring clients. Okay, I'm going to close these documents for now, and we are going to move on to the next topic, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay. No, I don't want to do that. Okay, so I want to hear, I can't see everybody here. Who here is using, I want you to let me know, raise your hand, using the file folder system to track your clients, and follow them through? Quentin, are you using it? You're on mute.
I use them both. I use the manual form, and I also build a database to do the same thing.
Okay. Sherry, what about you?
Hmm?
You use it?
Otherwise, I wouldn't remember somebody I met last month sometimes.
Right. And you use the paper form in the binder?
Yeah, I was doing the computerized one, but this was just easier to have sometimes. Like yes and no, but
Okay.
because I know I would follow up with it. I have their card. I staple their business card to it. It just makes it easy sometimes.
Right. Donna, do you use the file folders?
Not consistently, but in fact, I just did today, so that's good news. And I'm wondering about the computer data thing. Is that something you made up, Quentin, or is that available to us?
No, it's something I made up.
Oh, okay. Thank
But
you.
I'm trying to get to a point that, it's duplication that I really want to get to. So when I bring on new coaches, they're not going to be able to do what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to go to the manual form, and I also want to go to the phone, what do they call it? It's the address book online for take shape, in the office. Yeah.
Okay. So here, let me ask a few more people here. Malka, do you use the file folder systems to track your clients?
I do. I mean, I've always used them. I'm trying now to physically put them through, but I've always followed the file folder system, pre-client, week 1, month 1, and then supporting after that.
Okay. And Shelly, you're new to use it, and me and you are kind of working on the Evernote, which I shared you that one thing.
Yeah, I actually got JPEGs of all the files, and I separated them into separate files today, which I was going to send you, that are really clear. So I want to do Evernote, but I'm currently doing an Excel spreadsheet. I come from an engineering efficiency background, and so all this like paper and redundancy and carrying files around drives me crazy. And I like the information on the files, but actually physically doing everything on paper, and that makes me a little bit cuckoo.
Sure. And I created an Evernote system. I just did it. I lost my system and I had to recreate it, and I did it. And I'll share that with you. We'll see if we have time tonight. I'm only going to do this call. We're going to end this call in about 10 minutes, but we'll pick it up. So we'll move on. Now, this is what I heard so far is, I'm going to close. I'm going to stop sharing for just a few minutes. Okay. So what I heard so far is that some of you are using them, some of you are doing it differently. Sherry seems to be using it fully, and otherwise she gets confused, and Donna's not using it. But here's the reality. Most people really don't know how to be a great coach. Would you agree? Like, that's a special gift to be a coach. It's not natural for many people. And the file folder system was built by the Miller team, who has one of the largest businesses in Take Shape for Life, and they're the most structured and organized. And what they did with the file folder system is they put every single thing you need to be a coach in the system. And if we're not using the system, guess what? I guarantee you're not coaching correctly. Because if you are coaching correctly, every one of your clients would know about the support calls and the support numbers, because they're listed right there in file 1, and it tells you what to do. It tells you to tell them and give them the phone numbers. It tells you 8 questions to ask them and things to remind them. And it tells you what questions to ask them, what chapter they should be on in the Habits of Health, what things are going on, what if they hit a plateau, what medical conditions might they be that would be a contraindication for doing this program. Because I've heard these questions over and over and over again by seasoned coaches. And the reality is that all the information about what you need is in the file folder system. So you're not, I'm not saying this to say anything bad in any way, but there's no way you can be a good coach if you're not using the system. You're not teaching anything duplicatable. You're doing it on your own. And you're making up what you want to make up based on what you know about whatever you know about. And I'm guilty of it too in the beginning. But last year, a year and a half ago, I conformed to the file folder system, and I can't tell you how much easier it's made my life, because I don't have to think about what to ask people. I don't have to think about how to move people forward. If somebody's hitting a plateau, I know exactly where to go to figure out what the issues are. If every one of my clients knows about the support calls, and I ask them to go on it, and I ask them questions about if they went on it. And I'm going to ask this, and be honest with me. How many here tell their clients to listen to the calls, and then you ask them about it on your coaching calls? If you don't do it, it's okay. I'm not trying to punish him, but I just want to see who's doing it. But Malka does it, and I do it. And do you see, one of the problems here is the biggest way of this business is getting referrals, right? How many here people get lots of referrals? Okay, so I get lots of referrals, Malka gets lots of referrals, and I think Sharon does too, but we might not be able to see your hand over there. But the point that I'm making here is that we're using the system to coach. And the ones who are not using it, Shelly, you're new, so you're still figuring this out, and I know you are going to use it. But for Donna, you've been a coach for a long time.
Yeah.
Using the system, and you're not getting a lot of referrals, and you've got lots of clients that go on and fall off, and you're really not being a certified health coach. You're not using all the information that's at your disposal.
Who's dog?
Do you want to say something, Donna?
Well, I was just going to say that I wondered if people use the folders. I have them in a 3-ring binder, and I've cut them so that I can stick the people in wherever they are. And that tends to work for me. But I agree, I'm not doing them justice if I'm not following that.
You're not doing them justice, and people do multiple different ways. Most people have a 3-ring binder because they keep them all in one place. But it's not about having a 3-ring binder.
No, I know.
It's not about having the Evernote system. It's about using it.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I understand that. I understand. I was just curious about how people did it, but yeah, I really hear you, and I'm embarrassed and ashamed.
Don't be embarrassed. I just
No,
want you to make a shift now. This was not about trying to call anyone out because
I know. I know. I'm teasing.
Don't use it as well. But the reality is if we don't use the file folder system, then we're not using the system. Everybody says, I need a system, I need a system. And we have a system, but you're not using the system.
Mhm.
See what I mean? So
Yeah.
acquiring clients, we just went over how to acquire and how to layer, right? Everybody good with that?
Mhm.
Now the file folder system, you don't need to be taught it. You have it. You need to read it and use it. I could sit here and show you each one and go over each one, but that's not going to do us any good, right? You guys have all those documents right in front of you. If you want to use Evernote, I got to go here in a few minutes, so we're going to end this, and I'll show you how I use my Evernote system and how I track people, and you can move people from folder to folder, and it's all electronic, and I have it synced with my phone, so I have everywhere, phone and computer now, okay? So it's an easy system. It's what Miriam Khan uses, and that's how she tracks all of her clients, and that's how she keeps everything at her fingertips all the time, right? You can have folders within folders. Clients that you can take pictures of their profile sheet and embed them into their folder, so you have all the information at your fingertips. But if you don't use it, then you're not using the system.
Right. And she's traveling right now internationally, so she has all her stuff with her. That's
So
the
I'm-
cool part of that.
Gary, I'm real keen on that.
Good.
So if you want to put together a learning session or a workshop, I'd love to be there
On what?
on using Evernote. I'm go back with Evernote. Yeah.
I'll put it together. That's fine. That way everybody can. It's very, very simple. I'm figuring it out myself as I go, but I've learned how to create the notebooks and how to, like I have. I'll actually show you one. Let's see what time is it right now. Okay, I got only a few minutes, so let me. I'll show you a few things here. Let me screen share. Okay. Okay. So can you guys see it?
Now, yes.
Okay. So here's my my notebooks here. Okay, and file folder 1, or here's my pre-client folder. And so I took a photocopy of the.
Brilliant.
Okay. So now I have it right here. And
Brilliant.
file 1. Now what you do is you add a new note to file 1, and that's where someone's in there. And you add your own note to them. So I have them on 3 because I just had to build this. So here's like a client. I can put notes on him here, and I can constantly add new people, and all their notes are right here.
Wow.
So
Good job.
I
that
can't
way,
see what you're doing, Gary. Are you just talking or are you showing something?
I'm showing something. You'll just have to see the recording.
Okay.
So I'm going to stop sharing now. But that way you can have everything organized into Evernote, all your files and all your people. Okay, it's an easy way to do it, and I know that's the way Miriam does it. And so if the most important thing you can do for your client is to read what's in the file folder system and ask the questions that are on there. Give your clients the information, connect them to the bio network, connect them to the support calls and things like that. The most important thing you can do, because when clients are successful, they will refer to you. If you're just calling them and saying, how are you doing, and you're focusing on the food, you're missing everything. And they are going to fail. They're on a diet, and they're going to end, So, okay. There's 2 other parts of the system that we're just going to have to wait. That's acquiring coaches and supporting coaches, right? That's the other 2 aspects. Now, we'll work with that later, but the 2 most important things, though, is clients, right? For everybody. Clients lead to coaches, which leads to building our teams. So does everybody feel good about these 2 potential systems?
Yeah.
Is everybody going to start using the file folder system? Yeah.
Yes.
And
Gary,
what's that?
no pressure, but since you've successfully created that Evernote, I'm with Quentin. I would love a training dedicated to copying your Evernote. I think
Okay.
it's an awesome system.
I wish I could just copy how I did it, but the only thing I can do is like share a folder and then it starts to get personal. Shelly, did it help you when I shared that with you to see how?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I had tried to mess with it, and I created something completely different, and the way you were doing it is much more efficient. So.
What's your hierarchy, Gary? Is your hierarchy Take Shape for Life, and then you go down, you have everything built into that? If you have that, then that's shareable.
What do you mean?
I'll show you how later.
All I did was create the folders. Okay, in Evernote, you have ability to create a notebook.
Yes.
So every notebook is a folder, and I wrote file folder 1, and then I took a picture of the file folder and I embedded it in. That way I knew that my files were in there. And then in there I can make multiple notes. Every note becomes a client.
Right.
Okay, and then I can write notes on them, and then I move them, and then I can move them through the folder system. Yeah.
Do you set alarms for yourself in terms of who's in file folder 1?
It's probably a good idea. Maybe we should have Miriam come on and teach us what she does. I'm new to using it. I just set it up. I did the paper forever. I did that forever. But I like having it on my phone because I'm not always home. So if that helps you, Mocha, then do it. You know?
Well, I find I'm, thank God, supporting so many clients. I need to have my alarms who I'm calling each day.
Mhm.
Well, yeah.
I set up my
I'm-
calendar.
What I do when it comes to that is I have my Monday clients, and you can even set up a separate notebook that says Monday clients, okay, and put a list of your Monday clients in that notebook. So come Monday, you go on there, because in Notebook you could search for them to see where they are, and you should know if they're past the first month, they're in file folder 3,
Right.
where they should be. So
Right.
I do it that way. I do Monday clients, here's my list for Monday. Tuesday clients, here's my list for Tuesday. Wednesday, here's my list for Wednesday. So that's the way I do it. I don't set alarms, I just set times that
No,
I'm.
I love that. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Notifications. Alarms was the wrong word.
Yeah.
Okay,
Um,
great. Thank you.
guys, I love you so much, but I do have to get going.
Good night, Gary. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I'm going to stop the recording. If anybody that watches this recording and wants more help on this, feel free to reach out. And I do look forward to catching up with all you guys this week. And Donna, let's talk tomorrow morning in regards to
Okay.
our lunch.
I know where they are. I just need the one in the food.
Okay. See you guys.
All right, great.
Bye. Good luck, Naka, on your event.